Hello, everybody. Welcome to Who the Hell Asked, where today me and Slade are going to recap the award winners and discuss the reveals that happened at last night's Game Awards. Yeah.
Absolutely. So last night was chock full of surprises and some wholesome moments. So without further ado, let's get underway. So let's talk about the biggest and largest one first, the game of the year. I
Yep.
think me and Byron were both extremely pleasantly surprised to see that our personal game of the year won game of the year, and that is It Takes Two.
Yes, that's right. It Takes Two won not only the Game of the Year, it also was the multiplayer Game of the Year and the family Game of the Year.
That is correct. So it definitely cleaned up tonight. And, seeing Joseph Fares up there, you
Yeah, it
know,
was.
acknowledging he was the fuck the Oscars guy.
Yep.
but,
Yeah, that was quite a moment for him.
oh, yeah, for sure. So,
Everybody. Yeah.
as I said,
So,
I was just really happy to see it win Game of the Year because I thought it was probably the best game that we played personally that came out
yes.
this year.
Yeah, and it was one of the few games I know that I played that came out in 2021. Maybe the only one.
Yeah, but as I said, absolutely fantastic game.
Yeah.
Incredible. I'm glad they didn't just go with fucking Deathloop or something the other review critics were slobbering over, which, speaking of Deathloop, kinda did much more poorly than I would have anticipated.
Yes, that's right. So, to go over some other award winners, Deathloop did win Best Art and Game Direction, so it won both of those awards. Uh, Metroid Dread actually won an award. It won Best Action Adventure Game, which shocked Slade because Slade didn't think Dread was winning anything.
No, I thought they were giving every category Deathloop was into Deathloop. I thought this was
Uh,
gonna be The Last of Us Part 2 all over again. I'm not gonna lie to you
no.
guys.
The Player's Voice Award ended up going to Halo Infinite.
Recency bias is very strong, which is
Yep.
crazy considering all the microtransaction problems and the pass being another separate issue and the randomized playlist. But let's not get into that. The fans voted, and that was their choice.
Yep. Elden Ring was the most anticipated game of 2022. Not shocking at all, but it was quite the competition it had.
Oh yeah, it definitely beat out some crazy games in Breath of the Wild sequel and Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok.
Yep. Kina won Best Debut and Best Indie. Forza Horizon 5 got Best Sports Racing Game, Innovation in Accessibility, and Best Audio Design. Age of Empires won Best Sim Strategy. Guilty Gear won Best Fighting Game. Tales of Arise won Best Role Playing Game, which did not shock Slade at all. Someone who has played that game. At least I think you've played
I've
Tales of Arise.
100%ed it already. It's a
Oh,
pretty good game. I would argue the second half of the post game kind of falls off a bit, but that's just my
uh,
take.
Returnal won Best Action Game. Resident Evil 4 VR won Best VR AR Game. Final Fantasy XIV won Best Community Support and Best Ongoing Game. Again, Genshin Impact. I, the late, the lady who presented the mobile game award mispronounced Genshin Impact as Genshin Impact, and it was trending on Twitter,
Yeah.
which I found funny. But poor lady. Ugh. But yeah, Genshin Impact won Best Mobile Game. Life is Strange: True Colors won Games for Impact. Maggie Robertson won Best Performance. Near Replicant version 1.892978.
Fine, you could just say near replicant, homie.
Yeah. And yeah, and best narrative went to Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's all the awards.
Yeah, so honestly, like I said, some surprises for me. I didn't think Metroid Dread would take Best Action Game. I thought they were going to throw every reward in the kitchen sink at Deathloop, so pleasantly surprised that that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Um, but outside of that, I think they did a good job overall. I think for the majority of the categories, they probably picked the best potential game for the category. Though I would argue maybe with art direction should have gone to
Yeah.
either Artful Escape, Psychonauts, or Kino. I felt like Deathloop kind of didn't really introduce a whole lot outside of, looking the most up to date and
Yeah.
realistic with hyper realism.
Yeah, and maybe it's just me. I don't think Deathloop should have won Best Game Direction, but I will note they shotgunned some of these fucking awards. And
Yeah.
we'll get into that a bit more with some of the reveals, but they shotgunned these awards. And speaking of reveals, uh, first the pre-show. There was a 30-minute pre-show, and that had two big things of note. Tunic, the indie Zelda game with starring a fox, will be coming out on March 16th.
Yep.
So that's cool. And the big one, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, is coming to PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Steam on
And
March.
Steam, that is correct. And that's one I'm personally pretty excited for. I think this is coming off the heels of the massively successful Persona 4 Golden on Steam.
Yeah,
and I think
that did gangbusters.
so. I'm pretty sure they're looking at that like, okay, we should release our Atlas library on Steam, like 100%. I was kind of hoping we would see Persona 5 Arena, but I'll take Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, actually, when I first saw it was like an Atlas game, I'm like, okay, are they actually gonna announce we have Persona 5 Arena? Dead ass. That's what I thought they were gonna announce.
Nah, I knew with it being a pre-show, it was probably going to be a port of some sort. So I thought maybe they put in Persona 3 on Steam, or they do like a Persona 5 on Steam.
Or maybe, I don't know, Persona 4 Golden on Switch or something.
Yeah, something like that. But overall, really, really nice announcement. Persona 4 Arena is an amazing game. Ultimax is the definitive version of that game. So
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask, is Ultimax like the definitive like Game of the Year edition?
yeah, so definitely looking forward to when that comes out. So that was it for the pre-show. Now for some of the interesting reveals during the main show.
Yes. So, first up, Alan Wake 2. We know a year now for this game. It's coming out in 2023, and the main dev who was interviewed by Jeff Keighley said, "Yeah, we're basically gonna stay quiet on this game for a while."
Oh yeah, I guess one that kind of surprised me that we're getting a Star Wars Eclipse game, which seems like it's going to be a pretty massive scale Star Wars game overall.
Yeah, a nice didn't expect another Star Wars game, but it looks like at least from the vibe I got in the trailer, this was going to be like a single player open world style game. But watch, I could be wrong and it's just like a multiplayer like MMO or some shit. We got Hellblade 2.
Yeah, Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga. So, this has me personally really excited because the other Hellblade game was fucking fantastic. So,
yeah.
That's definitely hype as hell. And my god, it looks too real.
Yeah, I will say the trailer gameplay thing went on a little too long.
Yeah, it was a 6-minute trailer.
Yeah.
But,
which did have gameplay. If that's actually the gameplay, then damn.
I would probably buy it on next-gen consoles.
Yeah.
So,
speaking
the game announcement that probably surprised me was the Wonder Woman game.
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an itch for that.
No gameplay. It just showed Wonder Woman in like a CGI looking trailer and then left it at that.
Yeah.
But
so this announcement is gonna piss off some gamers. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate coming to the Epic Games Store in 6 days.
Yeah, so the PC port of Final Fantasy VII Remake is an Epic Games Store exclusive. So
for now,
pretty unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm obviously not complaining because I wanted to have a version of Final Fantasy VII Remake on PC. So I may dip into that or not because I don't have a PS5 and I didn't buy it on PS4.
Yeah. Maybe it'll come to Steam one of these days. But yeah, when I saw that Epic Game Store logo, and I saw Cloud, I laughed my ass off.
Well, at first, because as soon as I saw Cloud, I was like, oh, they're putting Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Epic Game Store. But they hyped it up like this is one everyone's been looking forward to. And I'm like, they're not going to drop the sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake
No, they're not gonna
at the
drop
Game
part
Awards.
two yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not dropping part 2 yet.
No, that's
So,
a yeah, that's an E3 announcement. All right, so from the creator of Silent Hills or Silent Hill, it's Slitterhead, another very creepy horror game.
oh yeah.
But Slade, let me tell you something. Right, I believe it was right after this. Guillermo del Toro presented the Best Game Direction Award. And Toro just had to mention, oh yeah, Silent Hill. Wish we could get more of that. Or something along those lines. And I fucking died laughing.
Oh yeah, people aren't going to let go of the idea of a Silent Hill remake or remaster. Like,
Nah,
it's just too far ahead of its time.
the conspiracy theories are still around it that like the abandoned game is some like conspiracy for a Kojima Silent Hill game and but yeah, Slitterhead looks like another scary horror game kind of in the vein of Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Should be good. We got a release date for Forspoken. It's coming on May 24th of next year. Gaming continuing to get stacked in 2020.
Yeah, 2022, no cap, is going to be the most ridiculous year for trying to keep up with video gaming with all the shit that's coming out next year. Like, oh my god. Honestly, my backlog can't handle all of it.
Yeah, speaking of another game, we got the name reveal for the new Sonic game. It's Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah.
And we got a cinematic trailer that showed we're gonna get an open world Sonic game.
Yeah, that's mind blowing. I think ever since the series went 3D with the original Sonic Adventure, and I know Sonic 3D was a thing, we don't talk about that game.
Yeah.
Since the original Sonic Adventure, the idea of an open world Sonic game or something similar to the vein of like Super Mario 64 was always an idea that was talked about, but ultimately never felt like it could come to fruition.
Yeah.
So seeing an open world Sonic to me was absolutely mind blowing. And I'm like, this game's going to be like either insane, crazy, like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Or, you know, it's going to be Sega. It's going to be probably a shitty game. So
Yeah. Well, some good news for Sonic fans. Ian Flynn, the head writer of the IDW Sonic comics, will have a writing role in this game.
yeah, so hopefully that means the story isn't cringe and Sonic isn't kissing another human being.
Yeah. That news was broken by Game Informer. So thank them for that news.
Yeah, I think that was the game that actually surprised me most seeing. Not that Sonic was there, but that it was an open world Sonic game. I think that was definitely a very surprising and stunning announcement.
Yeah. Also, the name was not what the leakers thought the name was going to be, because apparently, the quote leaks were saying this game was going to be called Sonic Rangers, but obviously it's not Sonic Rangers.
I saw some leaks like a week ago saying Sonic Frontiers. I could be wrong.
Okay. Speaking of 2022, Jesus, we finally heard about the Cuphead DLC.
Yes.
Holy shit!
And that's coming out in June. I believe June 30th?
June 30th, 2022. I was so happy we finally heard about this game.
Yeah, I forgot Cuphead DLC was even a thing, to be like real with you. It's been such a long time.
Well, yeah, obviously the pandemic affected Studio MDHR because
Absolutely.
obviously the way Cuphead is made, if you don't know, it's all hand-drawn animation.
Yeah.
So that shit takes a long time.
For sure.
DLC Island is coming to Cuphead on June 30th, 2022.
Alright, so some other interesting things of note. We are getting a Halo TV series.
Yep.
So the Master Chief is going to be hitting a large scale studio, which is going to be really interesting.
Yep, and I
Um,
believe the series is going to be on Paramount Plus.
yeah, I think it's Paramount Plus. I think you're right. We
Yeah.
finally got a reveal trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie.
Oh, yep.
And this
We did get
trailer, I think it's the second trailer because the first trailer happened like earlier this week. But
Yep.
it revealed Knuckles being in the movie. In fact, the Japanese title for the movie is actually called Sonic versus Knuckles. It's not even called Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, pretty interesting. But
Uh, are you ready to get cursed, Slade?
all right, go ahead and hit me with the curse mark.
Um, Among Us VR.
Yeah, Among Us VR. Okay, I lied about Sonic being the most shocking thing at the Game Awards. Among Us VR, fucking, I was like, what the hell am I looking at?
This. Yeah, when we saw the crewmate, it was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Among Us VR. Follow
Yeah,
at Among Us VR for updates. So it seems like this is gonna be either like a separate game or a separate piece of like game DLC.
yeah, it's probably gonna be a separate game because I don't see.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty crazy if the developers this is what they spent all their time working on instead of like expanding the game. 'Cause I don't think VR by itself is gonna expand the life of the game.
No, it is. It is not going to expand the lifespan of Among Us.
Yeah. And
Are
then we
you
got a
ready?
lot of Matrix content as well.
Oh, yep, we did get some Matrix content. We got The Matrix Awakens, a Unreal Engine 5 game. This is one of the first major Unreal Engine 5 games, which
Yep.
is big. And in a call I was in on Discord watching this Slade, because they interviewed Keanu Reeves about, I think it was about the Matrix remake that's coming. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had mentioned, oh yeah, there was fucking The Matrix 2 was a video game, and I jokingly said, oh, there's not gonna be a Matrix video game. And the motherfucker, there was a Matrix video game, and I lost my shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I keep calling the weirdest shit? Like the one time we were in a call together, and I called, oh, we're getting Persona 5 Muso, and then the next day was Persona 5 Muso, and now I called fucking this again.
Yeah, Byron, you got a weird way of speaking things into existence, and I'm gonna need you to stop.
I guess I guess so. I guess I'm an insider now. I'm an insider. Uh,
Nah, but that announcement was pretty cool, especially because they had Keanu Reeves and why do I always forget her name? I don't know. They had the actors for the Matrix like on screen, and everything talking about how the series is, you know, how video games coming so far catching up to animation like movies and whatnot.
yep.
So that was pretty cool to see.
Yep.
So
And then we got Rumbleverse, which is from Iron Galaxy and Epic Games. It's Fortnite, but it's like a brawler.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rumble.
I think a lot of these characters are dropping into Fortnite would be more fitting here.
I I actually jokingly said, "Oh, wait like a year until like this game dies out, and then it's just like its parts are taken to be put into Fortnite."
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's I think all the major news from the Game Awards.
Yeah, so overall, this is a pretty good show for the most part. I don't honestly have too many, if any, complaints, really.
I will say it was probably the weakest of the few Game Awards that I've watched, at least since I think 2018.
Yeah, since I've been
In
watching since I think 2016 or 2017.
Mhm.
It was the year before Breath of the Wild won it, but
Yeah,
because I'm really just there for video game announcements. But
yeah, I
I
feel yeah,
go ahead.
I feel like that's what we're all there for at this point. Like the awards are nice. The awards are cool for the developers of the games.
For
and
sure.
the voice actors and actresses. And Jeff Keighley made a speech beforehand about harassment in the gaming industry and how we should do better,
Yeah.
which is a great thing for Keighley to do. But
But
yeah,
as I
that
said,
was
I
the
don't have
game.
any complaints. I do think this show was better than last year's show by a country mile. I don't think
Yeah,
last year's Game Awards were very good. I think the announcements were pretty good, but I think when it came to the awards themselves, it was very clearly and obviously. I'm not going to say rigged isn't the right word for it, but it was very clear that The Last of Us Part 2 is going to win everything it took part of, and we all know what a controversial game that is. So,
yeah,
but
yep.
anyways, this has been Slade.
And this has been Byron. We will see you all next week for more gaming news and stuff. Bye
That's it,
bye.
everybody. We will see you next time.